I'm just a guy who loves Disney that has way too much time on his hands. If anybody from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. I'm here to rate, review, and describe all of your favorite things from the magical world of Disney. I'm File91e and welcome to my Disney News and Reviews. Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Disney News and Reviews. I'm File91e. A pretty interesting weekend for me this week, guys. Yesterday I went and saw Finding Nemo 3D. I am going to review that later. I enjoyed that thoroughly, but I will tell you more about that later. But today, actually a few hours ago, I just got back from my Indiana Jones 4-movie complete adventure marathon. It was very, very awesome. It was sponsored again by Lowe's and I went to the White Marsh version here in Maryland. They have one, and it was really cool. I got this awesome bandolier or badge thing. Obviously it's the idol. Tell me the idol, I throw you the whip. And here on the back they tape your ticket stub so you can get back in. It tells you the times and everything, and Indiana Jones: The Complete Adventures it was called, and it's really cool. If you follow me on Twitter, my Twitter account is located in the description box below. I tweeted a bunch of updates and different things like that, but it's cool that they give you that. They also gave me this poster. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see all the poster. It's a pretty basic poster, but it's nice that they gave them to you, nonetheless. So it's a pretty big poster. This is Indiana Jones, and it has the different characters here on the bottom and everything. I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but it was Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark 1, and then Temple of Doom, then Last Crusade, which is my personal favorite, and Crystal Skull, unfortunately, to finish up the night. And it started at 10:30, and I got home around 8:30. It ended around 7:30, so it really wasn't that bad. So I mean, a lot of people think, oh my God, it's a movie marathon, but it really went by quick because the movies were so good, and obviously you knew them going in. But it was really cool seeing all the people that dressed up, and even the little kids. There were some kids there that really have seemed to enjoy the Indiana Jones films, which is great. It's great to see that there's a young generation of Indy fans, because I was kind of afraid that kids wouldn't like it as much. I guess it's an old movie, with bad special effects, but some kids seem to like it. In fact, there was this one kid who, after the third movie, we were walking. I was right behind him and his grandfather, and they were. His grandfather called him Junior because this kid had the hat and the jacket and everything, and he said, "Don't call me Junior." I just thought that was pretty funny that he was even quoting. He was like 7 years old. He was quoting the movie, so I thought that was quite excellent. So kudos to him and his parents for raising him right. Because everybody loves Indiana Jones. So yeah, that pretty much will end the Indiana Jones kind of week for me. Aside from the Indiana Jones Blu-ray, which is coming out this Tuesday. It's already pre-ordered, and I want to get that this Tuesday coming up. So I'm excited for that. And we'll see what happens after that. I will do an unboxing on that. You can rest assured I will do an unboxing of the Indiana Jones Blu-ray set. So yeah. But yeah, the Ravens play tomorrow, the Eagles, and I'm really excited about that. Just football's back. I'm happy, and just a crazy cool week. And 2 more weeks until my week off. And again, I'm still working out the logistics of the live Q&A questions, and when I figure it out, you guys will know about it, and I'll post a video up. So that's pretty much what's been going on with me this past week. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get right to the news. The locks on the guest rooms at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort are now in the process of being upgraded. Disney has advised guests staying at the resort that through to the end of the month, guest room locks will be upgraded to the new touch locks that will allow the door to be opened just by holding the key to the world card up to the lock. It's using that RFID chip in there. Disney is currently in the process of upgrading all of the resort rooms to this new system, which was first introduced at Disney's Art of Animation Resort. a bunch of news. Pretty much every time something gets upgraded like that, I want to I'll let you know, just because it's pretty important. That RFID system is going to be pretty big. It looks like Disney is about to begin a second round of testing with the full interactive talking Mickey Mouse meet and greet at the Town Square Theater at the Magic Kingdom. The last test was back in late of 2011, where Mickey met with guests during Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Now, while nothing has been confirmed by Disney, we understand that preparations are underway inside the Town Square Theater to resume the test. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party began this past week, so the timing would certainly seem right for the possibility of Mickey to appear on some of those party nights. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I love that little interactive Mickey thing. I think that's the future of the whole character meet and greet thing. So with the new RFID system and the Wi-Fi, everything, it really makes it possible. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the future of that. So if they can do it with Mickey, I'm pretty sure they'll do it with everybody else. Good news for those of you who like to get soaked on the Kali Rapids but want to keep some of your items out of harm's way. Disney's Animal Kingdom is about to begin offering complimentary locker rental for 2 hours for anyone riding the Kali River Rapids. The new lockers are located just by the restroom near to the Kali main entrance. If you want a full day locker rental, you can still rent those at the front of the park. So if you want a full rental, you can put that in the front of the park. If not, if you just want it for the Kali Rapids, it'll be complimentary right there. Excellent stuff. Epcot's France Pavilion is the latest to get in on the permanent character meet and greet location. Following the similar projects at Mexico, the United Kingdom, and Germany, the France Pavilion is about to get a new permanent meet and greet location. Expected to be a gazebo-type structure, the new meet and greet is being built in the far right of the pavilion, close to where Aurora currently meets guests. Interestingly, the space is being taken from an area that is currently outside the existing park perimeter. So, interesting. But yeah, so they've been doing a lot of this, the meet and greet upgrades to make it a lot more accessible and easier for people. So, it's pretty cool. And in rehab and refurbishment news, the Boneyard Playground at Disney's Animal Kingdom is closing for a short refurbishment this month from September 18th to September 19th, reopening on September 20th. So, excellent stuff there. Keep that in mind when you're going down to Disney World. That's it for the news this week. Let's get right to the reviews. Alright guys, the first thing I want to review today is The Seas with Nemo and Friends. I am going to be reviewing Finding Nemo 3D, but that's next. But the first thing, like I said, is The Seas with Nemo and Friends at Epcot. Now what these guys say The Seas with Nemo and Friends is a ride through a tunnel in the sea's main tank. Major attraction, go before 11 a.m. or after 5 p.m. 3 stars. The ride duration is only 4 minutes. Now, there are pretty much there's two sections to The Seas with Nemo and Friends. You got the whole seas area, which is the pavilion itself, and then there's the Seas with Nemo and Friends ride, which takes you basically just through it's a little dark ride underneath the aquarium in the seas tank. Now, obviously, this wasn't always a Finding Nemo themed attraction. Originally in 1982, when this opened, actually this opened in 1986, 4 years after the opening of Epcot. This was still there though. This was called the Living Seas. It didn't have Nemo and everything because Nemo came out in 2003. And the pavilion is actually themed as an underwater exploration base with several exhibits devoted to oceanic study. That's the pavilion, and I'm not reviewing that just yet because there's a lot more to the pavilion than just this ride. There's another attraction in there, Turtle Talk with Crush, so there's a whole, honestly is a show in and of itself, and I might do that later, maybe next summer or something, I don't know, but we'll see. But today it's just the ride that opened in 2007 of The Seas with Nemo and Friends. But I do want to give a little bit of background to what the Seas actually is, and a little bit of background of this ride so you can understand just why this ride is significant. Now the Seas actually had Now the seas actually housed the largest saltwater tank in the world when this whole thing was completed. It holding 5.7 million gallons of water. But it was surpassed in 2005 when the Georgia aquarium opened. Now, to give you an idea of just how much water that is, the aquarium is so large that Spaceship Earth, which is 160 feet in diameter, could fit inside this room with, or could fit inside this with room to spare. So it just goes to show you just how big this aquarium is, and it really is awesome. So if you ever get a chance to, if you hop on the Seas with Nemo and Friends ride, take a chance, or take some time to actually walk, meander around this thing. And I'll get into that more because I got a bunch of footage that I want to show you on that. Now, originally this was called the Living Seas, and what it did was it was basically a ride through an aquarium. You would go under these tubes and see the fishes and everything, and it would narrate stuff, and there'd be music and everything, and it was awesome. But in 2003, after Finding Nemo came out and it was a huge success, they decided to revamp this ride and make it a little bit more kid-friendly, because while kids like the aquarium, they wanted to kind of keep it, interesting. In 2004, Turtle Talk with Crush opened, and that was the first big switch to the Finding Nemo thing. Then in 2005, they began to re-theme everything. They started changing the names, really putting Finding Nemo stuff everywhere. They added the whole shark section with Bruce, and there was a lot of kid-friendly infographs and stuff like that. So they really redid everything. Then finally, on January 24th, 2007, they re-themed the Seas to the Seas with Nemo and Friends. Although the original plaque of the Living Seas is still in there, and if they pretty much they didn't really change the layout of everything. It's still the same Sea Base Alpha as it once was back in the old Epcot. But they did change it just to make it a little bit more kid-friendly, and I like it because I like Finding Nemo, and the fact that they didn't really change too much, they just kind of changed the name. And now on to the ride itself, the Seas with Nemo and Friends. The first thing you notice when you walk up to the Seas is this giant, it looks like rocks on the beach, and there's water, there's fake waves crashing on it, and you start noticing that, wow, okay, we're really getting into the water theme here. You got the, the Nemo, the Nemo character sculptures out there, and the coolest thing ever is the seagulls, just chiming in. You can actually get them to chime in. I think sometimes, sometimes people get lucky, and they'll be like, mine, mine, mine. Again, everything is Nemo'd out. So if you're not a fan of Finding Nemo, which I don't know why you wouldn't be, you might not like it as much, but it's still interesting and still worth your time to go see. Now, recently they've been doing some upgrades to the line itself. They've been adding a fast pass line, so you're going to see some construction stuff there. Eventually, it will be torn down. So if it is torn down, well, when you go down and you just have the fast pass line, you will see it. So it is fast pass and normal line right now, or it will be. So. The queue actually is one of the coolest things about this attraction. When you go in, there's a lot of murals and stuff with with fish and sharks on it and everything. The way the queue is set up, the farther into the line that you go, technically the deeper into the ocean that you get. Like, so when you start out, you're above ground. You're on a beach. There's warning signs about swimming and all that stuff. And what's actually cool is around here you can actually see a lot of the theming, and those little details really have everything stand out. And there are some references to the old Sea Base Alpha in there. It's the old Living Sea stuff. They're still paying tribute to it. You'll notice on the lifeguard tower that it's letters, or it's number 5A. It's anagram 5A. And now the 5, if you really wanted to stretch your imagination, that 5 could technically be an S. And then you got the SA, Sea Base Alpha. So there you go. That's how you get the Living Seas tribute there with the 5A marking on that lifeguard tower, which is really cool. And they also mention, actually at the end of the ride, Mr. Ray mentions sea cab knowledge. The sea cab is what they used to call the clamobiles. The ride portion. The ride car was called sea cabs instead of clamobiles, which they're called now. So there you go. There's your little bit of trivia here for the Seas with Nemo and Friends. Now, as you go through the through the line, you get deeper in the ocean. Like I said, like the next room past the beach, you're just underneath the ocean, and you got like this projection. It's really cool. They got this projection of like waves, like you're underneath the water, like the waves are going up top, and you're now underneath the water. It's really cool. And you go into another room, and there you see like a boat and an anchor, all this stuff, and it's kind of dangerous because you're like, what happens if all that stuff breaks? It makes you wonder if like that stuff is foam or real. We don't even know. Another cool section of the wading is you actually see projections of the mackerel fish. That school of mackerel fish that made all different types of shapes in the Nemo movie. They make a whole bunch of different types of shapes here, and it's just fun for kids to try to figure out what the shapes are. It gives them something to do while you're waiting, because the wait can be a little long depending on what time you go. But yeah, eventually you make it through and you're down into the coral section, and that's where you get on your clammobile. Now this is an omnimover ride, meaning that in order to board this ride, you have to get on this moving platform and you hop in this thing called a clammobile. You can see right there, it's a clammobile. It's a mobile clam. That is exactly what it is. And you sit in it. It can hold about two full-size adults such as me and my brother, but I'm sure if you're a normal-sized human, you could fit maybe two adults, one kid, that sort of thing. And then the clamshell shuts and you go on. Now the story behind this is that this is all the events taking place right after Finding Nemo, the movie, ended. So Nemo somehow gets lost again, and he's not lost. He just separated. So Marlin, being Marlin, freaking out trying to find Nemo, and he asks all of his friends to help him. And you're trying to find Nemo. That's the whole thing. You go through all the main areas that were shown in the film. You got the the reef. You got the jellyfish section, the shark section in the submarine. You got the dark section, and then finally, my favorite part is you find Nemo and he's in with all the other fish. One of the coolest things about the Living Seas was that you went in, like I said, you went underneath an actual, aquarium, and you saw all the fish swimming around. Now, what's cool about the Seas with Nemo and Friends is that they actually have digital projections onto the aquarium itself, and it actually looks like Nemo and Dory and Marlin are swimming with the fish and all that stuff. It's so crazy cool. It makes you think that you're actually looking at this, and just how they project it out there, I have no idea. It's that that's the Disney magic, and it really makes up for what is kind of a tame attraction. Right at the end you have that little bit of technology that really blows it out of the water, and it's really cool. And to see these digital fish mingling, well, not mingling, but just swimming around with these other fish. So that's really cool. They find Nemo, and right at the end they start singing Big Blue World, which is a song from the Finding Nemo the musical over in the Animal Kingdom. So that's kind of cool that they kind of link those two together, and that there's a song there for Nemo that because Finding Nemo isn't a musical. There wasn't any music in Finding Nemo, so they made that song up just for the parks, and I really dig it. Now, I have a bunch of footage here so that you can see just exactly what the Seas with Nemo and Friends main ride actually is, and I want to show it to you just so you can get a good idea of what it is. It's pretty much the whole attraction. It's 6 minutes of stuff, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Just watch the Seas with Nemo and Friends.
It's over to the Seas now.
Except for the lady in the tram place, you got that meal plan. And you get a meal, a drink, and a snack.
Good.
Mine.
Disney. I want to see you guys. Go. Us too, Nate.
Oh, good.
It's moving on its own. It's moving automatically.
Shall we go?
That was silly.
Nemo, where are you, son? Oh, no, not again.
Eyes open for on the way. Let's go explore, explore, explore. Let's go explore the big blue world.
Mr. Ray, we can't explore without Nemo.
I'm sure we'll see him any minute now.
Nemo!
Oh, science is great. There's so much to know. I want to explore this way.
I am looking for my son.
I can help. Where?
Don't. That's why I'm trying to find.
Find who? Oh.
Nemo, where are you, Nemo? Nemo is my son. You know that. Remember, you can answer the next Jellyfish! I'm the next one. Jellyfish! Stop playing games!
Games? I love games. Ooh, I'm thinking of something pink and bouncy that looks like a balloon.
Ah, jellyfish!
Right. Okay, now I'm thinking of something pink.
That's jellyfish!
You're good.
Jellyfish! Stop playing games!
I love games.
Say goodnight, you're all Superman. Who's your friend? I wonder if clownfish taste funny. Nemo! Why don't you drop by for a little bite? Oh, what are you?
Welcome to the EAC, dude!
This is awesome! Grand show, Nemo! It's the AC!
Your brother did. Righteous offspring! Awesome! Get down the big bar! Let's go! Come aboard, explorers!
It's Nemo! Look, Mr. Ray, here comes Nemo!
Oh, here you are, Nemo! In the big blue world, big blue world.
I've never seen before.
Totally, dude! So many creatures.
Around the sea.
Hi, I'm Dory.
And all of them are out there for me. That's what we play on. Stop.
Never stop.
really enjoyed that ride actually a lot better than I did before. So I actually give that I don't know. This is tough. I mean, it's a nice ride. The effects are kind of cool right at the end. I'm gonna have to give this a 4, especially for the seas, because there's not a whole lot in this pavilion. It's a nice aquarium, but I think I'll give this a 4 out of 5.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, so you can just understand, I did give it a 4. That was my first impression after going on it for the second time. It is a pretty cool attraction because right at the end you do get that awesome sense of technology, and the queue is awesome. It's totally kid friendly. It's really fun. Now having to wait in the line can be a little daunting, but we didn't wait a whole long time. It was about I think a 20-minute wait, and it was totally worth it. And yeah. So what am I going to give the Seas with Nemo and Friends, just the ride at Disney's Epcot? I gave it a 4 in there, but I'm going to give it a 3 out here. That was my first impression of actually appreciating it. The first time I went on it, they were still building it. I mean, it was working. The technology was working, but the queue was still a little wonky, and they still didn't figure everything out. This time around, the queue is better. I just had a better time overall, and it's really cool to see the technology at the end. But this is still an attraction that is kind of either or. Now, there isn't much in that pavilion, the Seas Pavilion. So it really is the best attraction in the Seas Pavilion. Although Turtle Talk with Crush does come in a close second. It's really cool how they do that too, but I'll get into that later. But again, it is still a fun ride and worth your time seeing if you have the time to see it. So the Seas with Nemo and Friends, I gave it a 4 just off the ride, but right now I'm still giving it a 3. So anyway, check it out whenever you can. Not sure if I'm going to tick off people with that, but it's still fun anyway. Continuing with the Finding Nemo theme, I'm going to review Finding Nemo 3D. It just came out in theaters and for a limited time only. And Finding Nemo is one of my favorite Disney Pixar movies of all time. I don't know why. I just like it. I like the expanse of the ocean. I love the graphics that they made for it. I just love the story. I think it's a great story. It's about a father trying to find his son. I mean, that's pretty much it when you boil it all down. Now, if you haven't seen Finding Nemo, where have you been? I mean, seriously, you need to stop this right now and go watch Finding Nemo. This movie came out in 2003, and it was really well accepted in the community. Everybody liked it because it was really innovative at the time for somebody to do such a really well done underwater movie. They had the light rays and the coral reef. It just looked beautiful. It was a beautiful movie. That is really what set this apart from all the other Pixar movies at the time, was that they just had so much. I mean, they added grime to the sea. They just all the little details of of the fish or the water. It just really made this movie stand out when it opened in 2003. Now it's about 10 years later and they re-released it. Honestly, they're trying to build up some momentum for when they release the Finding Nemo on Blu-ray. They're going to release it on Blu-ray and 3D, Blu-ray 3D and all that. I have the DVD right here. I even went to the Disney on Ice and I got the Nemo Cup, so that's pretty cool. Just showing how Nemo is one of my favorite movies of all time. Now, as with all Pixar movies, they usually have like some sort of short right before the movie, and this one was no different. I think you can see it on YouTube right now. It's called Partysaurus Rex. It was a Toy Story short, and it featured Rex and bathtub toys, which was great. Rex was all basically this short just showed Rex being one of those nincompoop characters, and he is. And he was always, his party pooper Rex, and he was forced to, go into the bathtub with, the other kid, not Andy, I forget what her name is. But anyway, she is, in the bathtub with Rex, and it's really funny how they pulled that off. But eventually she gets out of the tub and has to go eat dinner or something like that, and Rex is left with these bath toys. Now the bath toys are really cool because they party, while the water's there and they're floating around, they're having a good time, and then all of a sudden the water drains out. and you know, they can't party anymore. But Rex, being Rex, is like, I have arms. I can, I can turn on the water. So you know, so they turn on the water and the party's on. Now what's cool is they got this like dance club house music, and I'm kind of into that. I kind of like that music. But the funniest thing for me is in the theater was like these like 13, 14-year-old girls who were all like YOLO'd out. They had like the neon pink crap on, or whatever the kids wear nowadays, that are, you know, all jersey shorted out. And they were like, you know, as soon as the you know, the music was playing, they were fist pumping and everything, and I was like, oh man, I feel old, because I like that stuff, and apparently this is their music. I don't even know. But whatever, I kind of felt old there. I'm only 26, but I felt old. But whatever, I still had a good time because it was awesome music. And Rex was going and partying, and everybody was, you know, doing crazy cool stuff. And you know, it was even the toys that sank to the bottom of the tub, you know, were partying. They had lights and everything. It was a really cool short. I totally recommend that you go and look that up on YouTube. I think it's on YouTube. It should be there. I think I saw it there once. But if not, you know, go see it on. At the beginning of Finding Nemo 3D, totally worth it. A great short there. Now, what's different about this version, you know, the 3D version, and the original? Now, there are some movies that really benefit from 3D. There's some movies that shouldn't be 3D. There's some movies that only really can be 3D. And then there's movies like this that are old, and you know, they can stand on their own as a 2D movie, but they benefit greatly from the 3D effect. The 3D isn't huge. It's not very headache inducing, but the 3D in this movie adds that awesome third dimension, and you get the depth of the ocean. You start, understanding how far things are away from you, and you just see the different layers, and it really becomes apparent when, you know, the murkiness starts to set in, you know, in the actual, you know, the whole realm of everything. It's awesome, you know, when they're, you know, swimming through the minefield, or, you know, swimming through the coral, and how all the different layers of coral that there are. It really gives you a sense of depth and grand scale of the movie, and just how much the animators put in. I was noticing things that I never would have noticed, you know, if it wasn't for the 3D. And you know, the characters look great. The way they added everything. My favorite part, honestly, of the 3D was the little specks of whatever in the ocean. You notice in the ocean, especially in Finding Nemo, you'll notice just different specks of whatever, just kind of floating around, doing their own thing, and just they really had those things come alive. And I really thought that, you know, I was like, wow, that's really cool. That's really neat. They, you know, really well done. So. Going to see this in 3D really was good. My experience was, you know, was obviously really great. You know, the 3D and sound were great. The music was great. You know, they really digitized everything. I got these this souvenir pair of glasses. It's orange. They're orange glasses. I'm not going to open them up, but these are kid size. I accidentally picked these up because I thought that it was one size fits all. But these are for kids only. See, they don't even say that it's just for kids, but it is, and because my head's huge, and I had to use the regular glasses. I had to use the regular glasses, but it was nice that, I mean, they were nice enough to give me a souvenir pair of Finding Nemo 3D glasses. They're just orange glasses. It doesn't, you know, it might say Finding Nemo on it. Yeah, it has Nemo the fish on it, so that's just nice, you know, that they, you know, have those, you know, for kids, and you know, it gets your money's worth, you know, for a 3D movie. So yeah, it was awesome. So what am I going to give Finding Nemo 3D? I'm definitely going to give it 5 stars. It's already a 5-star movie, but this 3D that, you know, that they added to it, that extra dimension, really made this, you know, more beautiful. The grand open ocean scenes just looked awesome. It was a beautiful movie to begin with. They made it even more beautiful with, you know, with the 3D. The 3D does add a little something to it. So if you can handle 3D, it doesn't make you sick or anything like that. You know, because I know some people can't handle 3D, and that's okay. Definitely check that out, and because it's only in theaters for a limited time. So while it's out, when while you have the chance, check it out. Finding Nemo 3D, totally awesome. In theaters now, check it out. 5 stars, totally worth seeing. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's Disney News and Reviews. Again, kind of a whatever Disney News Reviews. I'm really tired. I just got back from this Disney marathon. I am so tired. I'm ready to fall asleep. But go see Finding Nemo 3D. Totally worth seeing. Grab your awesome souvenir orange glasses. And, go see Finding Nemo 3D because I said so. It's a great movie. Excellent stuff. I have that day off, or that week off in a couple weeks, so I should be getting stuff ready. So just be on keeping an eye out for that. I'm on Twitter. That link's down below. Yeah. So if anybody from Disney is watching, please don't sue me. I just want people to go and watch your movies and go down to Disney World and experience the seas, because it's awesome. I love how you intermingle things, and the theming's awesome. Totally worth seeing, because you guys are just great. You guys are just great. Now, if you guys are going to Disney World, go to allears.net, touringplans.com, wdwmagic.com for all your latest and greatest Disney news. WaltDisneyWorld.com is good too. Straight from the horse's mouth stuff. Can't go wrong with that. I'm really tired. I'm not going to lie. So I want to cut this off right now. I'll see you guys next week for another Disney News and Reviews. Hopefully I'll be a little bit more into it, because I'll hopefully have a little bit more sleep. I'm ready to take a nap for about 12 hours. Yes, I'm taking a nap for 12 hours. Shut up. See you guys next week. Love you guys. Bye.